Hi there, this is Jess, one of the relationship revivalists, and I want to continue our discussion about fear and anxiety and how to overcome it. And again, we are looking at the book Make Fear Bow by Gary V. Whetstone, and we're still in chapter 2, but I want to share a really key thing that he talks about in here. And this key is one that I've been reminded over and over again this week, and it's helped me so much. And it's the whole idea that when we accept Christ, he has actually adopted us into his family, and so he is our heavenly Father. So just take a minute and think about that. You know, a lot of times we think of our heavenly Father as someone being so far out there and kind of unreachable. And depending on, your own relationship with your father, your earthly father, that could be kind of a shaky thing. Like, oh, I don't know if I can trust, him now because I know how my earthly father was, or, depending on how your father was with you. So, but when we think about God and how he is love, absolute love, he takes total care of us. He's not somewhere far out there. He is right inside of us when we accept him. And he takes care of every one of our needs. And so when we get that fact and really get a revelation of his love and his care for us, it really eliminates fear. And I want to share this verse with you. 1 John 4:18 through 19. There is no fear in love, but perfect love casts out fear, because fear involves torment. But he who fears has not been made perfect in love. We love him, God, because he first loved us. And Gary Whetstone makes it very clear in his book that if we have an area of fear in our life, it's because there's an area that we have not been made perfect in love yet. Like, oh, well, I want all the fullness that God has for me. I don't want any area in my life to not be made perfect in his love. So I just want to share another idea that Gary talks about. Picture an infant, a very, very young new infant, all wrapped up, taken care of by his or her loving parents and loving caregivers, loved and every need met. Does that infant have any fear at all? No. They don't know fear yet. They don't know to be afraid. They have no reason to fear, and so they don't feel fear at all. And when we picture ourselves like that, totally under God's wings and under his care, when we get a revelation of God's care and his love for us, that yes, he will be right there and to meet every one of our needs when we need it, that eliminates fear. And when we really get a revelation of who God is and how much he cares for us, how much he loves us, that is life-changing when we're talking about being made perfect in his love. And he also gives this really interesting story about a lady who was so afraid of heights that she couldn't go over a certain bridge. She couldn't drive over a certain bridge that she had to drive to weekly to get to where she needed to go. In fact, she was so debilitated by this fear that she would stop at the beginning of the bridge entrance, and the police officers who were patrolling the area of the bridge would have to drive her car across to get her across the bridge. She was that afraid of what her normal weekly task that she had to do, until she got a revelation of God's love in one of Gary's services, a revelation of his love and his care for her. She was able to feel his presence so much and to understand his love for her so much that the things that she could not control, she knew God had in control, because the thing that she was afraid about was if she got into an accident or somehow there was a strong wind, she couldn't take care of herself. And that's so often, like Gary says, why we become afraid, because we think we have to take care of ourselves and meet all of our needs when we don't have all the resources to always meet all of our needs. We need God's help. And so when she got that revelation of love, she knew that her loving Heavenly Father wouldn't let her blow off the bridge. He wouldn't let her get stuck or be hurt in any way. And after that, she would go across that bridge, excuse me, multiple times a week. No fear at all, just a bunch of love. I hope that helped you today, like it's helped me this week. Please like and share, and I'll see you in the next video.